Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in, my divine feminines, my divine masculines, my beautiful star seeds, my soul tribe, whoever feels guided to come in and watch this today. I don't know. I'm having a weird morning. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a weird morning. Um, I found myself, my thoughts have been sort of drifting back and forth to love. And I'm frustrated a little bit that I desire this so greatly. I don't want to have to desire anything. I don't want to depend on anything anymore. I don't want to need anything in my life. I'm really working hard at accepting things the way they are. But I don't know, love is just something that I greatly desire, and I have been alone for a really long time. And every day this comes into my head for some reason. And then I try to kind of push it out and go, you know what? It doesn't matter. You're good. You're happy. You have these beautiful new projects you're working on. You have this channel that you're working on. I have a lot of beautiful things to be happy about. Um, but my mind lingers on love. And a painful sort of realization that I had over my ceremonial weekend was that the person that I believed to be my twin flame is not my twin flame. It was a false flame for me. It was a karmic partnership to catapult me into my awakening, which it did do that. As painful as the journey was with him, and as very limited, it's crazy when I think back. I'm like, what the hell am I dwelling on this person for? He didn't even really give me anything nice. The nice part of our relationship was in the very beginning, about 3 years ago when we first met. And I felt this incredible connection to him and this incredible spark and attraction and passion. But it was so short lived. We didn't even, I think we dated for like a couple of months, and then it all fell apart because we triggered each other. And I was honest with him about the things I was being triggered about, and it made him get scared and run away and yada, yada, yada. Fast forward, he reached out to me a couple of years later, which was about a year ago. I think a year ago today, actually. And maybe that's why it's so strong in my mind this morning. And I came on because I need to talk about it. I need to share about it. I'm not good at doing that. So I'm forcing myself to be uncomfortable right now by sort of outing myself publicly, that this has been weighing heavy on my heart today. And again, maybe it's weighing heavy on my heart because that 1 year mark is approaching where he sort of reconnected with me again. But it didn't go anywhere because he got scared again and he ran again and he avoided. But all of that avoidance and him ghosting me and ignoring me and rejecting me completely catapulted me into this beautiful journey I've been on in the last year, which has been a journey of healing, of self-discovery, of awakening the divine feminine within me, and the divine masculine. Actually, I just realized this morning, I think in the last year, I took back my divine masculine power that was stolen from me as a child from sexual abuse, by my dad, by my father, and that was a hard thing to face. That was a really hard thing for me to look at and to face. But I've made peace with that now. And anyways, I'm getting off track. The point of this is that I'm feeling like I've been trying to sort of let this man go. I know that he's not a healthy person for me. I know that the universe doesn't want us to reconnect. Um, but I still keep hanging on to this. And truthfully, I thought this whole weekend helped me to let go of that. And it did in a way, but I'm still seeing these stupid readings popping up in my YouTube feed. Even though I have deleted my history multiple times and started over, these readings keep popping up that are giving me this weird false hope of, this person regrets what they've done. They want to come back into your life, yada, yada, yada. Um, but it's funny, there's a new woman that I've been watching on YouTube, and I just finished watching one of her videos, and she basically touched on this, that There was a man in your life that you thought was a twin flame that tried to appear to you as a twin flame connection, but he was not. He was a karmic partner who was put in your life to awaken you. And I feel that to be true. And I don't know, it was like hearing her say that, it was almost like this pain went through me again of, I really thought he was the person. I thought he was the one. And to have to kind of make peace with the fact that I was wrong about that and that he's not the one. And then it sort of leaves me with, okay, well, there's nobody now. There's nobody I'm aligned with. Um, there's no love in my life. And I know that's not true though. And if anything, this past year has taught me I don't need love from a man. I don't need love from somebody else to feel whole, to feel loved. And maybe I'm coming on to talk about this today because somebody else out there is struggling with feeling alone, feeling lonely. Um, and I'm not alone. And this beautiful channel and all the comments I've been receiving and the love I've been receiving, I don't feel alone because I have such a beautiful community that I'm growing here on YouTube. Um, but it would be really nice to walk this journey with somebody, to have someone hold me up, to hold space for me, to see me in an intimate way, you know? And I'm craving that. I'm really craving that connection with a man and craving that deep intimacy. And I don't mean sex, I mean like emotional intimacy, talking about the deepest parts of our hearts together. I haven't had that in a really long time. And you know, maybe it's okay that I'm desiring that. You know, I keep thinking there's something wrong with you, you shouldn't want that. But that's not true. And maybe it's okay that that's, you know, that's the next step for me. I can feel that love is the next step for me. I'm trying to completely detach a person or an outcome to it. I'm just you know, and I actually had a revelation this morning because I was journaling about this. um, and even in my career, I went after management positions in my career and I didn't get them. And I was devastated and I was so frustrated with God and the universe and like, why isn't this happening? I thought this was what you wanted. You wanted me to be a leader, but I didn't realize that's not the capacity that God wanted me to be a leader. This channel is how God wanted me to step forward as a leader in the world. I just couldn't see it at the time. And then I went after the third promotion at work, which I got. And it is so much more aligned with me. I'm in a learning and development space now. I'm teaching others in the company now. I did my first solo facilitation yesterday on time management with one of our shops, our stores. And it felt really good. And I love being a part of the change in the company now and having a voice in the company makes me feel really good and really seen and really valued. So what did they say? Third time's a charm. Um, you know, and I'm kind of looking at that the same in love. Like, you know, the people that I thought were supposed to be the person for me are not. So I'm trusting. I'm really staying in a state of trust right now, trusting in God's plan for me, trusting in I want to be aligned with the right love. I don't want to just welcome in anybody. You know, I'm going to stay open to the universe and who God has presented for me, without trying to force it, without trying to make it happen. Um, so, you know what? What I thought I was going to do a reading on today is totally just changed because of what I've just talked about. So, I'm going to go to the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. And maybe I needed to talk about this today because somebody else out there that's watching this is kind of struggling like me, struggling with why can't I find a healthy partner? Why is the universe not aligning me with this? I'm doing all the work. I'm not, you know, aligning with anybody that matches me. So maybe that's what this reading needed to be about. I was going to do a reading on, you know, what is it that you're trying to dream up right now and what's standing in the way, but Clearly, Spirit had another plan for today's reading, and I thought I'm just going to turn the camera on and start talking about how I'm feeling this morning, what my struggles are this morning, so that you can relate to me and what I'm going through. And I'm embarrassed. I'm going to be honest. There's a bit of shame and embarrassment that I keep talking about this, that I keep staying hung up on this guy who offered me nothing really. At the end of the day, he offered me avoidance. He offered me ghosting. He offered me not making me a priority, making me feel like I was an option, not making me feel important to him. Those were all the things he offered me. So what the fuck am I doing staying hung up on this person? It bothers me. It frustrates me that I'm so hung up on this person. And I know a part of it is that I want him to see my value. I want him to see my value, but who gives a shit? Who cares if he sees it or not? It doesn't matter. And I think that's the point of this, is it doesn't matter. So Spirit, can you show me through these cards what is the message that my viewer, and maybe me, needs to see here when it comes to love and the journey and why it's not happening? Okay, so I'm just going to open the cards up first and take a look at all of them. And so first card out is helpless and hopeless. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm feeling this a little bit this morning. I'm feeling like everything I thought was going to happen in my life around love is not. And I'm sensing a little bit of helplessness and hopelessness in myself. And maybe whoever's watching this particular video today, you're feeling the same kind of helpless and hopeless energy. And wow, throat chakra, here I am speaking my truth. Here I am speaking up and talking about this, because why should I suffer alone in this? And you know what? I think this control card is coming out to say release control of it. Release control. You know what? I clearly don't know how to pick good partners. And, I really need to trust that God is helping me align with the right partner, but I can't control it. I can't control the outcome. I can't control who it's going to be and how I want it to look. The only thing I can do is create a list. So I actually looked at that list this morning, my law of attraction, who I want to manifest, the qualities I want them to have, the appearance, everything. I read that list. And I think if we can just let go of controlling how it needs to look, how that love needs to show up in our life, that's where the healing comes in. Hopefully you heard all of that. I think the mic died. I don't know when it actually died. I just noticed that um, it was flashing. So that's kind of telling me that it's not working. So technical difficulties, excuse me a moment. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I think the healing begins when we just surrender. When we surrender and we let go of the need to control the outcome, when we can surrender to God, when we can surrender to the universal plan. And maybe you're somebody like me that hasn't been able to choose people in a healthy way. And I do believe the healing I just did over the weekend was a huge release for me in terms of getting rid of past shame, getting rid of past unworthiness so that I could feel whole. And maybe God wants me to just sit with that for a little while. And, the healing has begun for me since this weekend. And maybe you've just gone through an awakening where you had to face a truth that someone you thought was your person isn't. And maybe you're on the same journey like me, where you totally thought this person was your twin flame or your soulmate, but you've had to open your eyes to the truth. And Mother Gaia showed me this weekend that this male is not my twin flame, that he was a false flame, that he is not the person I thought he was, that he is never going to show up and be who I need him to be. And I have to let this go. But I'm struggling with it, and I hate that. I just want to be done with this. And something keeps pulling me back in, and I feel it's him. And I have to keep cutting that cord every day because I don't want him to have my energy anymore. I don't want him to have access to my energy anymore. Um, and I think if we can surrender and just trust God's plan, love is coming. Dreams coming true is the next card. Giving and receiving and love. These are the last three cards that came out. And I feel this is a message of hope. This is a message that even if we're sitting in this helpless, hopeless state, which I kind of was this morning, and I'm like, why? Everything is so good in my life right now. Why am I letting this one thing take me down like this? Like it's frustrating me a lot. And that's why I'm coming on here and I'm talking about it, because I maybe other people out there are going through this, and as embarrassed as I am to talk about this, because like most people would be like, just get over it, get over him. I would love to. Trust me, I would love to. I don't know how many times I've had to delete my YouTube history feed so that these love readings stop popping up. I've unfollowed every single one of those twin flame love readers, and they still keep popping up in my feed. And for a moment there this week, I was like, well, maybe Mother Earth was wrong. But no, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. He's not a healthy man for me. He has a long way to go, I believe, and I don't have any part of that anymore. We served our purpose. Hopefully, I awakened him in some way too, and he'll change his ways so that the next partner he encounters, he learns how to love them properly and love himself first. But I don't have anything to do with that anymore. And um, maybe this is a message for you too, that if you've been stuck on one particular person and then you're wondering why love isn't happening, maybe you need to let go of that too. And maybe you need to sort of sever that tie, because if you can release the control of the outcome, I keep looking at this card, release the control of your outcome, and like speak your truth, journal about this. Like I've been journaling a ton for a long time. I journal, but when I wasn't able to do this because I was afraid to be seen and I was afraid to talk about my stuff, I would journal about my thoughts and feelings. I mean, my journals are so full of him. It's sickening. It's sickening. I'm embarrassed. But you know what? This is my truth and this is my journey, and this is a part of my healing. Learning that I am worthy and I don't need to keep chasing after men who don't see my value. That's an old story. That's an old timeline for me. Um, and I'm still I feel teetering sometimes. There's so much that's changed. Like my lack mindset is gone. Money keeps coming in all of a sudden, and I'm receiving all this extra abundance that I wasn't expecting. And I can see things changing and shifting in so many other areas of my life, but love is the place I'm not seeing evidence yet. And if you know me and you follow me, you know I'm a big evidence person. I need evidence to kind of believe in something. Um, but I think this is the evidence for us. For anyone out there who's like me, this is the evidence that dreams are coming true. And if you just keep going inward, that love is coming. And it doesn't, I think love is about union inside too. And um, I don't know why I just looked at this card, and peeking behind the curtain just came into my head, and seeing the truth. And it was tough. It was tough this weekend to hear Mother Earth tell me that this person is not your twin flame, that like he's not, he's your false flame. He was brought into your life to help you grow and to catapult you into self-love and choosing yourself and starting this channel. I'm very grateful to that man for the hard lessons he put me through and the pain he put me through. And I feel sad for him. I feel sad because I know that he's got a lot of hard lessons ahead of him, and he can keep running from them all he wants, but eventually he's going to have to face them. And the more he runs, the more pain and lessons he's adding to that. So I'm going to be grateful that I chose healing. I chose to see the truth of things. I chose to see him for who he is. I'm no longer romanticizing it anymore. I'm no longer hanging on to the potential of what I think this could be anymore. I am like truly, truly letting go of this. Um, and I mean, from what the cards are showing, like dreams are going to come true. And I think this is just a reminder that we have to keep our faith and, keep believing in the power of divine timing, and things have to unfold in a certain way for a reason. And I'm really going to trust in that. And maybe as the viewer, this is your message to trust in that too. So I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot to just get some additional messages for me, for you, because I look at these readings like they could be my readings too, right? Like, I mean, I'm coming on here today to talk about something I'm struggling with this morning, something I'm feeling very frustrated with, that like, I just want to be done with this whole thing with this guy, and I don't know why I can't be done with it. I don't know why it keeps coming up for me, and I'm feeling incredibly frustrated with this process. Like, I just want him to go away. I just want it to be done. I don't want to think about him anymore. And it has gotten better. Let me be honest. Like, since this weekend, since facing the truth of things, it has gotten better. So Spirit, what are the additional, wow, yeah, heartbreak just fell out. What are the additional messages that my reader and maybe myself need to look at right now? Okay, wow. So Three of Swords came out and the Page of Pentacles came out in reverse. And right away, what I'm feeling with this is your connection to that person could be holding you back, like it was for me. It could be holding you back from receiving the abundance that you're aligned to receive. But because of this heartbreak and because you're still so attached to it, like I was, and I'm not attached to it in this way anymore. I see the correlation now that the broken heart and this interaction with this man was just reaffirming I'm not valuable, I'm not good enough. And it was blocking my flow of abundance. And ever since this weekend, where I said, no more, I'm done, I'm deleting all the love readings, I'm unfollowing all these card readers. It's insane how so much has changed. And you know what? The 10 of Wands has come out and she's carrying all this baggage around. And this past weekend, I released all that baggage. I purged all of that up. I'm not carrying around all that shame, all that baggage that this relationship caused within me. I'm not carrying this around anymore. And maybe this is your sign that you need to let go of this karmic partner that's holding you back. Yeah, wow. And then the Two of Swords, like illusions. If this is just, it's not real. Like, this is just an illusion. This has come into your life to help you learn something, to learn some lessons. But it's not the outcome. It's not the final outcome. And letting go of that, like, this is what's waiting for you: the abundance, the creativity, new ideas, new career. If you can just cut the tie with this karmic person that is like draining your energy, and that's how you'll know. That's how I knew, is the more I was watching these love readings, the more I was like thinking about him. What's he doing? Is he going to reach out? I was feeling drained. I was feeling completely drained, completely broken. And I realized, oh my God, it's because I keep staying connected to this very negative energy that's draining me. And I don't want to stay connected to that anymore. So I think like this has been, yeah, wow. And then Ace of Cups is on the bottom and Temperance. Oh my God. And the Empress. And I'm going to stop there. So Ace of Cups on the bottom, like self-love. This makes me feel like total union with yourself. This is the goal. This is the goal. This is what I've been working on in the past year, is how to come into union and love with myself so that I can align with a healthier partner and healthier love. And Temperance is all about patience, having patience in this process while you're working on becoming that divine empress. And that's what I've been working on this year. And maybe this just showed up to say, you know what, I'm proud of you. You have been doing the work. And just because love isn't here and just because the evidence of love isn't showing up, you should be proud of all the rest of the work that you've done. And I'm going to say I'm proud of myself for focusing on self-love in this past year, not focusing on I need to find another guy, then I need to find someone else who's going to value me and make me feel validated. I learned how to value and validate myself. And this is who I have become in this past year. And maybe you're on that same journey and you can relate to me where this is who you've become too. But you have to let go of this karmic person. You have to let go, even if you think this is a twin flame like me, even if you think this is an important connection. It might be, but it might have just been an important connection to help you learn and to help you grow. And that's where it ends. And that's the hard part is I think we get so attached to they're my person, they're my soulmate, they're my twin flame. We have to be together. I'm never going to find a love like that. But you know what? That's wrong. That's not true. And where's that card? Where is that card that I saw? Illusion. That's the illusion. It's not real. It's not real. Real love will show up for you. It will show up for me. We don't have to stay connected to people that don't value us and that don't treat us with respect. Um, and we don't have to wait for them to heal. I think that's the important piece here is don't wait for them to heal. Move forward in your life. Keep, chasing those curiosities, chasing those passions, because I do believe that the final outcome is going to be love. It will. But we just have to be patient a little bit longer and keep focusing on ourselves. So I hope this helps someone out there. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.